Every Sunday between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m., a good chunk of Bogotá Colombia becomes the largest linear park in the world. Hello Weirdos, welcome to Educating Manny, our weekly series for party conversation education. Subscribe so you don't miss out, and while you're down there, ring our bell for notifications. I also want to point out last week's prize winners. I Am Not the Letter E won the Weirdo Cargo, and Rebella Music won a choice of t-shirt from the Legion of Weirdos merch shop. Both of you shoot me an email with an address to hello@legionofweirdos.com. Rebella Music, let me know the shirt, the color, and the size. That info's linked in the video description. This week there'll be 2 more winners. To be in, just subscribe and leave a comment. With that out of the way, let's talk again about Colombia. Before we get into the
Does it really have to be in my face?
Before we get into the video, I want you to know I fact-checked this stuff with an actual Colombian. Say hi, actual Colombian.
Hi.
You're fact-checking my video, right?
Sure.
Good.
Based on what I know.
Bogotá was named the most healthy and active city by the World Health Organization, and it has some of the most congested traffic in the world. There are over 500,000 cars in this city and an incomprehensible amount of motorcycles, along with trucks, buses, horse-drawn carts, and the occasional donkey. Hey Colombians, did I just piss you off? Gotcha! The truth is, horse carts and donkeys have been illegal in Bogotá since 2013. So if you try to drive an equine-powered vehicle in the city, the cops will say, "Nay, nay, esa chiste no tiene sentido en español." But seriously, Bogotá is so congested, there are times during some weekdays you're not allowed to drive your car. For example, if your license plate ends on an odd number and the date is an odd number, you can't drive your car between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. or 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. In other words, if you commute during rush hour, you gotta find another way to work for half the month. Or buy another car with an even number plate. Regardless of all that, you don't want to be in a car in Bogotá on a Sunday morning. Not if you're trying to get anywhere anyway. You in a hurry? You better call a cab or catch a bus or ride on a donkey cart. Es un chiste? No es chistoso, pero. Every Sunday, the city closes about 10 of its busiest roadways, leaving all that pavement for cyclists, walkers, runners, joggers, and a limited amount of buses and taxis. The city government estimates about 1 million people participate in this morning aerobic enlightenment, and it's supported by several food stands and bike mechanics at over 40 locations along the 75 miles of Ciclovia. Don't have a bike? No problem, you can rent one. Don't know how to ride a bike? Also not a problem. The Ciclovia program has over 100 unconventional bikes for you to borrow, like quadricycles or adult tricycles. Or you could learn to ride a bike from one of the Ciclovia bicycle schools. A 2009 study by the University of the Andes determined that for every peso invested in Ciclovia, the net return was about 3 pesos saved in healthcare costs. That's a net savings of over, get this, 38,061,777,000 pesos. Colombian money makes me feel so rich. And dinero de los Estados Unidos que es $13 million. Because exercise is good for you. And all it takes is closing down the roads for a little while. And about 1,600 support people, 700 fences, about 9,000 traffic cones, 3 miles of security tape, 500 signing pallets, and 40 trucks to haul all that stuff. In 2006, this guy proposed a law that would reduce the hours of Ciclovia and reduce the number of streets used because it was a headache for people who drive. If I could, I would say, hey Jose, it wouldn't hurt you to get on a bike every now and again yourself, but I could never do that because he died at the age of 57 of a stroke on national TV. And in a sad twist of irony, the ambulance took over 20 minutes to show up because of traffic, and he was never revived. From what I understand, he was a fairly well-respected congressman, so it's not fair to paint him in a bad light. But still, he died of a stroke while arguing against people getting exercise because cars. Or if you're one of those bicycle-hating anti-Ciclovia type people, this one will really piss you off. Every year, Bogotá has a day called Dia Sin Carro. That means day without a car. And on Dia Sin Carro, nobody's allowed to drive all day, and 507 miles of Bogotá streets are open to bicycles, runners, joggers, public transport, and the occasional ambulance. Join our Facebook group. Estamos parchando. ¿Te gustó este video? Pulgares arriba. No? Pulgares arriba irónicamente. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays with new stuff. Also check out our vlog and review channel. Here's another video YouTube thinks you'll like. And until next time, fuera de las zonas de confort.